Sure, sure, sure.
Hello, Soham. Mohammed Farhan has joined recently. Please consider his.
Hello everyone. My name is Manas, and today I will be talking upon that the NASA did not go to the moon and the Apollo missions were just fake. I strongly agree on this that the Apollo missions were just a diversion, and NASA conducted these just so that they get ahead of the space race. Because at that time, the Soviet Union was way ahead of the NASA in space race. So US did not want that the Soviet Union or communism be ahead of capitalism in any way. So they did everything to ensure that the Soviet Union gets left behind, and thus they conducted these moon landings just so that they could say that hey, those guys are no longer ahead of us, and capitalism. This is a big win for capitalism, and that's why they did it. I say so because there have been many proofs, like the no stars visible on the photos and the flag sometimes waving, and multiple other proofs that suggest that the NASA never went to moon. And it's especially very difficult for us to enter the moon. There are multiple obstacles on our way through Earth to moon. There's the Van Allen belt, which is extremely high in radiation and which will kill anyone that goes through it in the matter of seconds. There are multiple obstacles on the moon as well as the journey which go through the moon. So I just don't think that it's possible for us at that time to. uh,
Yeah, you are audible.
हेलो, क्या आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं सोहम जी? Hello everyone, Mr. Khabiskarma, founder and CEO of Hoax, and amateur astronomer and space explorer. तो आज हम यहाँ पर आए हैं दो टॉपिक पर बात करने के लिए कि नासा चांद पर गया है या नहीं गया है। तो आज मैं आप पहले से ही बता देता हूँ कि मैं नासा मतलब अगर आप कह देते हैं कि नासा चांद पर नहीं गया है तो सीधी सीधी बात है कि आप स्पेस प्रोग्राम्स को बंद कर देना चाहते हैं, कि आप उसको कह देना चाहते हैं कि आप स्पेस प्रोग्रामों को बंद कर दिया जाए और एकदम से नकार दिया जाए कि अंतरिक्ष एक मतलब फेक चीज है। क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने इतने साल मेहनत की है उसके उसके बाद अगर वो लोग इतनी मेहनत के बाद एक मतलब एस्ट्रोनॉटों को भेज पाए हैं चांद पे और इसको आप कह देते कि ये फेक है तो उनकी सालों की मेहनत पर पानी फिर जाता है, उनको कैसा लगता होगा। तो इसी टॉपिक पर आज चर्चा करते हैं और देखते हैं कि किसके फैक्ट ज्यादा पावरफुल होते हैं। और फैक्ट तथ्यों के माध्यम से कुछ नहीं होगा यहाँ पर, क्योंकि हमारे साइंटिस्ट एस्ट्रोनॉमर्स की इतनी सालों की मेहनत है, हमें इसका मतलब पूरे साथ देना पड़ेगा उनका, क्योंकि उन्होंने इतनी साल मेहनत की है। ये सिर्फ एक मिशन नहीं है, उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि भी है कि उन्होंने इतने साल मेहनत की और 50 सालों के बाद आज फिर हम आर्टेमिस के तहत फिर से चांद पर जा रहे हैं। उसके बाद दूसरे आर्टेमिस 3 की तैयारी और 2 की तैयारी में 2 लॉन्च हो गया, उसके बाद 3 की तैयारी में लगे हुए हैं। तो उसको देखते हुए हमें ये बतलाना होगा, सारी मतलब दुनिया को बतलाना होगा कि हम लोग चांद पर गए थे और एक फेक मिशन नहीं था, एक एक पूरी दुनिया के लिए, नासा के लिए नहीं, पूरी दुनिया के लिए एक उपलब्धि थी। धन्यवाद, थैंक यू। सोहम जी, क्या आप बता सकते हैं कि मतलब मेरे टीम में कौन कौन है?
Sure.
So yeah, I'm sorry I got disconnected because some Wi-Fi issue. Yeah, so I was saying I do not believe that NASA went there because yeah, they sent almost from Apollo 11 to Apollo 17. They sent 6 missions and 5 were successful, and the sixth one failed because the oxygen tanks exploded. And it's been 50 years. Why just like 50 years? Why do they need that much time to send another mission again? Why not just keep pushing the limits? They knew they had a clear goal of moon that was not just the space race, and their moon has plenty of resources as well. So I don't think that they went there because they stopped immediately after one of the failure, and they said that this one is failed, so we'll just stop going to the moon. That's actually not a good reason for us, for any nation to just stop expeditions towards the moon. And we have to also know that only US is the only one nation that has sent a crewed mission to the moon, and then no other country has sent. other than the US. Not even the Soviet Union, the European Union, even though they probably have advanced much more since then. And now suddenly US is sending the Artemis 2 now after 50 years of the Apollo mission, Apollo 17, the last mission. So the main reason is there are too many obstacles during that time to be overcome, and there were sudden failures, and then they had to wait so long just to send another mission towards the moon. So that's the main gist of why I think that NASA did not go. They might have done hard work, it's true, but I don't think that they went there successfully. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening everyone. I hope I am audible. So I am Soham and currently in first year engineering. And here today I am going to talk about against that how the moon mission was faked by NASA. Okay, that's what I believe in. So first of all, my first point has to be the technology, because see, today we have the era of 5G where we have blazingly fast internet speeds, or at least we claim so. There are still various areas where internet hasn't even reached remotely. So if in this advanced era we can have oddities about internet and communication where even 4G and 5G cannot solve these issues, how can we imagine that back in 1969 there were zero transmission failures, there were like no oddities while transferring data from here on earth to moon, which is like lakhs of miles away? How can we imagine that? That is my first point. And secondly, all the images and all the videos that have been shared by NASA about the mission, they are very odd. Like first of all, I would like to say that about the stars, as Manas told, the stars are not visible, and like, but those are like some basic conspiracy theories. If we keenly observe, like if we neatly observe those images, we can see that the shadows also not do not match a like a specific source of light. Or there, I have some images that I was able to find, that over there you can see some markings on the stones. Now markings on stones on moon, that is like completely impossible unless it was a set, like everything was recreated on a movie set or something of that sort. So the image oddities, or the, like, we can see the mistakes, or some oddities in the images, is my second point, that as to why NASA faked this whole moon landing thing. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Soham, for your well stated points and informative informations. So, quite much factual. So, yes, so do we have our backing up? Karthik here? Are you against or for? Okay, okay. Then you can leave the debate. Thank you very much. Okay, fine. So, okay, fine. So, as there is no one, so I'll back up. Okay, so Soham, your points mostly were that we are having that the flag was there and the shadows were not in a proper stative manner while people were actually astronauts when they were working. And next point of yours was where did the how did the coding and how did the technological transfer happen? Am I right? Okay, fine. So let me tell you that I hope you have heard of that girl who wrote actually 50,000 pages of code by her hand in that era, and there is a very good picture of her which is really famous. I think you will get it on even Instagram memes, because it was said that even our computer with 5 GB or even our mobile with 6 GB of RAM or 8 GB of RAM can't handle the stuff, but that girl wrote 50,000 pages of code with her hand, and that helped Mr. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and even Michael Collins, who was there in the command module or crew module, to be honest, in the crew module, to go with the proper way and the trajectory as well. Now the technological transfer which happened at that time was mostly due to the computers which were there, and I know that at that time computers which were there, that was very primitive level, and because of those primitive level computers, they had to do many amounts of tests. So for that amount of test, let me tell you, since 1962 the USA started testing for their many others of programs. So when Apollo 1 was there, Apollo 1 was the first module which was tested. It was unmanned. Then Apollo 2 was tested, and it was going to be around only Earth's orbit. So when Apollo 2 was launched, instantly the fire broke off in the crew module, and 3 astronauts died on the spot. So there were many mistakes that happened with that happened by the NASA crew from 1962 to 67. Till 67, they had only missions which were mostly unmanned, and they went up to the orbit of the moon. Now there are proofs of it. What I'm talking, this is not just data which I'm talking out of some YouTube video or might be some article or something, but this is actual factual data which was actually recognized by the people, because as you know, even when we launch some GSLV or PSLV modules in nowadays, people are there around 100 to 500 yards standing at that amount of distance and watching that particular launch. So NASA at that time, now we all know that NASA is really a good business person, because they believe in less doing and more showing. So that is why the marketing which that at that time they did, that was all the Apollo mission was handled around $24 billion at that time, approx 24-25, which is if we today inflate that particular amount, which will be over $100 billion. So can you even imagine that $100 billion, because today's NASA yearly budget is around 25 itself. So that is why the amount of money that was spent at that time was required for hiring the best minds of all times. Of course, there were so many amount of minds that was used at that time. Also the space race was begun because of the ICBMs, which is intercontinental ballistic missile. So at that time, Soviet Union and USA both knew that the country which is having ICBM will rule the particular world, and to reach that particular ICBM missiles, you need to conquer the whole earth. You need to be having a good standpoint in space. So to be on that space, we need to have really well equipped rocketries. So for that rocketry, Saturn V was born. After many much money was actually wasted in that particular point. So that is how it happened, and I can tell you about shadows. Let me tell you all, I hope you all know that the moon which is there, the moon is actually stationary kind of thing. It is not having a particular rotation, it is having revolution around Earth. So let me explain you. So for example, this is your moon and this is your Earth. So moon will, let me tell you more briefly. This is sun and this is Earth. Okay. So now how Earth will go? Earth will move like this. Okay. It will rotate 360 degree and it will go 360 degree again around sun, right? So now let me assume this example, same example. This is Earth, this is moon. Now moon will go like this. It will face this body. It will face this palm always on front of the Earth. So this will be always, one side will be always facing towards the Earth. Okay, it will not go this side, so we can't see the back side of the moon. Now this particular mission which happened in Sea of Tranquility and many other craters which are there in the moon. So these kind of craters where these Apollo missions happened, these were actually launched, which is on the front side of the moon, means this side of the moon which is always facing on the Earth. So they placed some laser reflectors on the surface of the moon at that time. So this is proved by the MIT study, because they got laser reflections back from the moon from that particular results, and also they have 26 kgs of moon rock which is there, and also seismometer is placed on the moon for proving that moonquakes are there. Well, moonquakes are very weak, because moon is not having that much mass than Earth, but still that is a proof to the NASA and to the people of the Earth. So this is my particular stature. I am sorry I talked a lot, but yeah. So your 1 minute starts. Thank you.
So yeah, a very big thank you. Like, you have countered most of my points and you explained them beautifully. But yeah, the technology thing, you were totally right. There were failures. I am aware about that, and that's how NASA learned. That's how they fixed their problems, and the technology grew. But my issue is about transmission. How did they manage to, like, from Earth today? I can have n number of problems while, let's say, calling someone or having internet issues. That's how data is transmitted. So how can you, like, in all the NASA footages, if you see, the transmission time between a dialogue from Earth and a dialogue from Moon is very minimum, at most 0.5 seconds. So where light only itself takes 2 seconds to, like, go to the moon and come back, how can you imagine at that era? Today we have oddities in internet. And at that era, the communication was so powerful that it took less than 0.5 seconds with each dialogue without any failures. That was my another counterpoint, which I think you forgot to answer. And the technology thing, I am now, I believe that the technology has advanced gradually, as you said. And the second thing was about shadows and the image oddities I was talking about, that the problems in images. Another problem I told you about is that there are letters that were engraved on rocks. And this, I think, nothing can explain, because the internet and the NASA officials explain those as hairlines. Like, a C on the rock is easily explained of that it is some hair or something like that. You can never really prove some actual evidence that that was not a letter and some component on the rock. You can never give a proper evidence against it. So the transmission thing and these image oddities are again my major thing, which you failed to explain, I would say. And the rest explanation was really nice. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Soham. It was quite much to the point. So I will answer these questions at the end of the session according to my reach of knowledge. Okay, so let's get back to the debate now. I will give this next opportunity to Prachi. So Prachi, you do put your points, and Mr. Prakhar will go for against you. So Mr. Prakhar, be aware whatever she is saying, and I'm starting the stopwatch. Yeah, your time starts now.
So good evening everyone. My name is Prachi and I am studying in 12th standard. So first of all, I would like to say that Apollo missions was a great one. It created a history, a great impact in our past. But to stick to my point that it was a fake mission, I would like to put some evidences that first of all, we should notice that Neil Armstrong spent 21 hours 36 minutes on the moon surface by the Google data. So 21 hours and 36 minutes, it, like today with advanced technology, we can stay for 8 hours 30 minutes having that space suit with us. But how can at that time Neil Armstrong can stay on the moon surface with 21 minutes and 21 hours 36 minutes? It was quite a different thing which I noticed. The second one is that spacesuit which was worn by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin was quite different from the footprints which were placed on the moon, which we saw in the photos. The next, coming to the point, is that the driving. Actually, you can see through the videos that Neil Armstrong and other astronauts who went to moon were driving their rovers on the moon, which actually, like on Earth, we have more gravity, but upon going to moon, it decreases to 1/6. So actually, when you see that video, the drive was so smooth, as if there is no gravity interference in it. They were driving it so smoothly that as if the drive was on Earth. Then coming to the next point is that if you go to the Google and search that NASA footage of moon, you will probably get Neil Armstrong's footage, most probably. So what I would like to say that there are more footage of Neil Armstrong on moon other than other astronaut which went on the moon. Probably they are there, but Neil Armstrong footage are more. So basically, Neil Armstrong's footage was made in such a way that we can consider it as they made a long footage of them and they break it into pieces and showing that this like Apollo 11 was this, then 12 was the same footage. They break into pieces and show to us. So this could probably be like from my side, I think like that. Then coming to the point that okay, so coming to a point that others organization, as many of you said, have so much of money and all that advanced technology, but still they are not able to go to moon. Why is only the NASA who is going to moon, and it's since 50 years they have not yet been to moon? So what I would like to say is that at the end that our doubts would be cleared if NASA again went to moon to using that Artemis program. Ultimately, all our doubts would be cleared if they really got the success. So we should wait for that, and then we'll have another debate on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prachi. Quite well stated points, and also your major points on imagery, photography, and many other things did raise some questions in my mind as well. So yes, of course I'll give some vivid overview on this. Okay, so I give Mr. Prakhar a minute or two to back you off. Mr. Prakhar, I hope you have heard what her points was. I want you to go against her points and facts and present your facts as well.
थैंक यू सोहम ब्रो, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे मौका देने के लिए। और मैं उसी टॉपिक पर बात करने जा रहा हूँ कि मैं आप लोगों से कह रहा हूँ कि नासा का जो मून मिशन था, शुरुआत में उसने मून मिशन भेजा, सब लोगों ने उसे लाइव देखा, लाइव टेलीकास्ट हुआ, सब कुछ हुआ, लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने इसको मतलब इसमें कुछ कमियां निकाली। उन कमियों को आज मैं दूर करने वाला हूँ, मतलब सबको बताने वाला हूँ उन कमियों के बारे में। जैसे अभी 2 डाउट क्लियर कर देता हूँ कि जैसे कुछ लोगों को लगता है कि नासा के जो पहले मून मिशन की फुटेज आई वो सबसे ज़्यादा थी, तो उसके बाद जो फुटेज कम होने लगी, तो उसका ये रीज़न है कि जब आप किसी प्लेस पर पहले जाते हैं या किसी घूमने जाते हैं कहीं पर, तो आप पहले कितनी फ़ोटो क्लिक करते हैं? कम से कम आप सेल्फी ले लेते होंगे, 50 तक तो सेल्फी ले लेते होंगे ना। तो उसके बाद अगर उसी प्लेस पर जाते होंगे तो क्या 50 लेते हो क्या? नहीं लेते हो। उसके बाद आप लोग कह रहे 10 ले लेते होगे, 5 ले लेते होगे सेल्फी। तो इसी प्रकार से इसका मतलब आप इसका ये नहीं लगा सकते कि रीज़न कि उन लोगों ने सबसे ज़्यादा फ़ोटो क्लिक क्यों की। सबसे मेन बात ये है कि जब उन लोगों ने इतने रुपए खर्च किए, इतना उन्होंने बजट निकाला, तो उन्होंने खुद के हित के लिए तो किया नहीं था ये मिशन लॉन्च, किया तो उन्होंने पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए ही था। या उनको कुछ उससे मिलने वाला था फ़ायदा? उनको तो कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला था। उनको तो ये बताना चाहते थे कि मून पर आके मतलब हम लोग सबसे पहले मून पर जा रहे हैं तो मून कैसा दिखता होगा, उसका सरफेस कैसा होगा, उसका मतलब पूरा दिखाना चाहते थे वो। तो उन्होंने दिखाया, उन्होंने फुटेज भी दी। अब इस पे अपन लोग ये थोड़ी कह सकते हैं कि ये पूरा मून मिशन फेक था। अगर फेक था तो आप ये साबित करिए ना कि उन्होंने उनके जो नील आर्मस्ट्रांग के जो मतलब उनके निशान थे पैरों के, उसको फेक करके दिखाइए। आज भी वो वहां पर मौजूद है, कोई वहां पर फेक उसको साबित करके दिखाए कि आज मिट गए हैं, तब माना जाएगा कि ये मून मिशन फेक था। उन्होंने अपना यूएसए का फ्लैग लगाया, उसको साबित करके दिखाइए ये फेक था मिशन। इन तथ्यों पर चर्चा कीजिए। फेक था तो कैसे फेक था, इसका रीजन बताइए। थैंक यू। मैं बाद में भी अभी चर्चा करूंगा सबके थोड़ी क्वेश्चन सुनने के बाद।
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Prakhar. It was quite a practical implementation of your own observations on your life based on what you can implement on the Apollo missions as well. So, quite much relative things. And yes, indeed, this is a very different mindset which we wouldn't have think of when we were preparing or when we got introduced about this topic. So I give based on this point, I want to give Miss Prachi one more minute if you can go against or say something against Mr. Prakhar, that is fine. But please be limited up to 1 or 2 minutes because we are running out of time.
Yes, so one point which he said was that when you go to moon for the first time, you will be quite excited, so you will have more curiosity to take more pics of it. But as the astronauts were also different, there were different astronauts who went to the moon. So obviously, as a human being, everybody has that curiosity to take pic with it. So it depends upon astronauts. So astronauts were also different. They should have the curiosity to take the photo if they went to moon. So obviously this was a counterpoint. And the one thing which I forgot to tell you was that it took 8 days and plus some minutes for the astronaut to come back to Earth and again from the moon. So this whole journey, actually at the end point when they were about to land on the moon, there was 5% fuel which was left with them, and there was 60 seconds countdown. So all these stuffs, and then when they are coming back to Earth, there was again a hurdle between them. So if we even think God was there or God was there to save them, but these type of what to say that how they saved themselves is quite at that moment we can't say, because with no advanced technology and they were so smooth and came back with all these hurdles was quite a point to be noticed. With this, I like to thank.
Okay, very much great project. Actually, these are some points which I always have in my mind. If I would have been against the topic, I would have used the same points in the very first way. Okay, so remember, people, always when you debate in any point of time, in any stature, it doesn't matter. Okay, in my personal life, I have also debated against that you shouldn't put money in astronomy. This is also the way, and I am having a company for astronomy only. So this is also a mindset which you have to provide yourself, because if you can go both for and against for the same topic, then you will be called as a real professional. Okay, so anyways, I will note these points and I will definitely answer you. Okay, so getting back to the next of our fellow, Kirtan, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Hello, Kirtan. So can you please switch on your video? Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much, Kirtan. So, yes, so these are some points, and I hope you have been hearing quite well, and I hope you are enjoying this debate till now. And I want you,
Yes.
yes, so I want you to go further ahead and present some more of your factual and more practical point of views and informations regarding this particular debate. And yes, so I'll be countering you, and after that we will be having a proper common discussion for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll end. Thank you very much. You can move ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kirtan, and my topic is against the NASA is fake on landed on the moon. And I totally stand about the pictures which was released from NASA. The pictures, first point is the footprints. Footprints are different, like as they release the images, and the stars are not appearing in the images. And and another one point is they were. Mm, I am little bit nervous. Uh, and the flag on the moon, there was no wind, and the flag was flying, like little bit movement of the flag
It was fluttering, yes.
as they released the yeah. And I think that they have fixed the total set of the moon in their studio, like fixing the total set, like as they're in the moon. And the shadows, one shadows, and yeah, this much
No problem, Kirtan. Fine, great. Some are very,
Yeah.
very good points. Okay, so these are really good points, and I would love to give you explanation on this. So let me tell you. See.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So first of all, you pointed out about the these are 3 points which you said in your whole introduction or your particular stature. So these are the points that
Yeah.
that Apollo missions, their boot sprints, their flag, the
Yeah.
stars which was there in background, and the images. These are the 4 points which you raised up. Okay. So let me give you point wise. Number one, the boot prints are not well. That is literally you don't have proof for it. First of all, because let me tell you, if you see if you see that particular suit, okay. So recently one news came that Mr. Elon Musk is building some kind of suits which are skin tight, and those will be utilized on Mars. Okay, so because the suits which are used currently for spacewalk and the suits which were used in moon mission, these two types of suits are really very heavy. Okay, and you can see in the videos, if you see very well, when astronauts are actually trying to work, excavate, or even present the seismometer on the ground of moon, these kind of videos, if you see well, then you can see that astronauts are really jumping and as well as falling down very frequent, because they are not able to handle that suit. Now first of all, let me tell you that on moon your weight is 1/6 of your current weight. So like if I am right now 100 kgs, I will be 16.6 kgs something on the moon. Okay, but that suit is of 35 kgs. Okay, that individual suit is of 35 kgs. So while you are having a 35 kgs of suit, although it will be weightless, or kind of kind of almost weightless in that particular, in the atmosphere of moon, but still, even you can that you might have said, you might have read it somewhere, that if the astronauts which go in the space, their bone density gets very brittle, so at that time your bones, when they are brittle and you are handling that weight on your body, including your weight which are all this is handled by your legs. So when you are not that much having strength, interior muscle strength or density is not that much, it will be very hard for you to first of all handle that particular thing. So you can see that astronauts are falling down. Now when you see that boots, those boots are very broad and very curvy. If you see in a random image, not in the moon image, because you will not believe in the moon image, right? So you see that image on Google, right? While they are training. Okay, so these astronauts were trained in swimming pools, these astronauts were trained in desert, these astronauts were trained in many other different factors. So you can see their boots, those boots are exact curve, and these are having some kind of scribbles which are in between the lines which you can see. So that is the first thing. Second thing, flag fluttering. Now you can all say that there is no air on moon, then how can a flag flutter? Like how can that particular flag go very in a horizontal manner, and you can see there. So let me tell you that there usually there is one rod and the flag which is attached over like this, okay, in a horizontal manner. But do you think that the scientists which are there, who have studied in their BTech, Masters and PhD and whatnot programs, they don't know about this? They do. So that is why there was one thing, the rod was here and one more rod was here attached horizontally. So when you can see, this part, the corner part, it was not attached with anything. Now, still when you can see the images or the videos, if you see, whenever an astronaut is holding the flag like this, or he is trying to attach, or he is trying to manage, then only that part which is at the corner, because there is no particular attachment to that corner of the flag, only that corner is fluttering. Otherwise, if you see, you can see that Buzz Aldrin is saluting to the US flag. At that image, flag is not fluttering. So that is the second proof for you. Third proof is of the images. Okay, the images which are having shadows. Now this particular mission, I will answer third and fourth point of yours in one this expression only, because this can prove. So third point was of yours, that the shadows, and the fourth point was there of their images. So this particular mission was done, as I said, on the front side of the moon. Now at that time, the day was there. It was not a mission which was done beside the earth, but NASA, because when the moon is in front of the USA, so the distance will be very much less from US, from the particular land, from the surface of the earth to the moon directly. Okay, and and we still say that Saturn V, which was the rocket which was used to launch the Apollo missions, it was one of the most heaviest rocket, or the most powerful rocket of the history after SpaceX Falcon Heavy. Okay, after Falcon Heavy, Saturn V is the most powerful rocket. Even in today's times, no one can beat that particular rocket. in power and in thrust as well. So this particular mission, as Prachi stated, that the mission was actually done in 8 days, but it was not 8 days. They went and came back in 3 days only, because they were not having that much capacity for the food and for their particular living harmony as well. So that is why the mission was, they went and came back in 3 days only. So that is why now let me get back to the point. That this mission was conducted in a day, okay, and that was on front of the moon. So during day you can see, now if you, for example, even you can see the background is dark, full dark. Now let me tell you, if I ask Soham right now to go in a nearest ground and point his mobile towards the sky and click a random image, even though he can see that there are 10 to 15 stars in the sky with his eyes, but can that particular mobile see that there are stars in the sky in your normal mobile picture? No. So can you expect that 1969, that particular time, do you were having really good cameras like DSLR and kind of thing, that they will take this picture of a star as well? Probably not, of course no. And next thing is that this was a day experiment, so how can you see the stars in day? That's all. So I think this is what I can answer. And yes, so I think I have answered everyone's of your question. Now I will give you all a particular open point, that if you want you can ask me or Prakhar any question, and any answer or any question. I know Soham has had some points and I haven't answered those, so I actually forgot those, so I will ask Soham to repeat those few points. So I will just answer those in 1 or 2 minutes, and then we can conclude the meeting.
Yeah, so the first point, right now you told that the technology back then was not that good for the camera thing. Okay, I'm not talking about the satellite technology, that was definitely well furnished over the missions. I'm talking about the camera thing. The cameras today, the mobile cameras today cannot capture the stars. So as you said, how can I imagine cameras back then to capture the stars? Similarly was my point that the internet today cannot provide that much blazing speeds as we expect, and hasn't even reached all the parts over the globe. So how can we imagine communication and transmission back then in 1969 to be as efficient as shown in NASA footages, that a dialogue is heard from the earth and a counter dialogue is heard from the moon in less than 0.5 seconds each and every time without any failures? So that was my first point. And the second point, yeah, the image audit is, you already cleared that thing, that yeah, the days and stars, why those cannot be seen. But there was this one thing that we can see letters engraved on the rocks in many of the images, and it has been called off like some stuff on the rock, like a C is easily called off as a hair on the rock, and similarly. But I think that those letters engraved that you can see in the images, or at least stuff that appears to be letters engraved, are actually the serial numbers to the props that NASA has used for this whole set thing. So those were my two counterpoints that were remaining to be discussed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are really good points. I give chance to Prakhar. Do you want to oppose Soham, or if possible, I can do that as well. No problem.
अभी मानस जी से थोड़ा डिस्कशन कीजिए थोड़ा.
जी, शुक्रिया. Okay, no problem. So okay, fine. So Soham, okay, so these are really good points. First of all, I will just clear out your second point. You are talking about that rock which are engraved or something, which you are saying C or something. I really have no idea, so I can't bear or I can't dare to say against that particular point. I can't say that. But okay, so regarding that first point, I can say about communication. The communication which actually occurred, so that was the same thing which I said in the starting, that 1962 to 1967 NASA has tried. After every 2 months, if you see that, after every 2 months they have conducted an experiment. For example, the first experiment they conducted unmanned. They went from they actually tried the crew module on the land itself. Then they tried manned, but all 3 astronauts died. But still, after grieving for 4 months, they again conducted an experiment which went from Earth to Earth's atmosphere, came back again after unmanned mission, Earth to trans-lunar ejection orbit. They went till there, again came back. They again went there, and next time they went up to the lunar module, like lunar. They went up to the module, up to the orbit of Moon. Again came back. Again they did a manned experiment. three men went again on the surface till the surface of the moon, but they didn't set the foot. It was Apollo 9 or 10, I think. Then they again came back. Again Apollo 11 happened. And during this kind of thing, when you have like 5 years or something, when you concentrate on something, yes, I agree, totally agree that the communication system was really worse. Right now also we don't have 4G properly working. Okay, so and still Geo is going on 5G. So still the thing is that the when you concentrate on only one particular focus, okay, right now if we say that Reliance is focusing on digitalizing all India, or government is studying or digitalizing all India, but it is like we have to spread in every corner, in every direction, but you have only one direction to go in. There is something you concentrate all your resources in only one direction. And that is why the first point was like money was really the cash was burned literally just to focus in that particular mindset. So that was the plus. We were having like literally good the best minds were working on this from all over the globe. That is why ESA was born, due to this particular thing. After this, because of this space race, after when Apollo missions were ended, the at the same time, just 4 years after Apollo missions, Indian Space Organization, which is not ISRO but INCOSPAR, which was the committee led by Vikram Sarabhai, that was found just because Vikram Sarabhai saw that USA is going like this, so why not India? So he convinced Mr. Pandit Nehru, and then this particular thing happened. So a lot of innovation happened in this era of 1960 to 1975. And after this particular era, USA, China, Europe, and of course Russia, Japan, and India. These are the 6 major organizations which are there right now on the top, because the innovation which was led by just 2 countries, that too to just to develop the ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, just to like bomb each other, that was led to some other way, and today we are able to talk to each other and we can conduct this debate. So that was the communication barrier which was ended by Apollo missions. Apart from this, the particular Apollo mission, yes, I will also answer Prachi in 1 or 2 minutes, that she said that only 60 seconds were left. Only 60 seconds were left, and the Mayday was called. So at that time, the thing is that right from Earth's atmosphere launch to coming back to that particular point, Mr. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin faced a lot of many other things which can a small thing can lead to your death. That's all. There was also one thing that the 5% fuel with Prachi talking about. At that same time, when Mr. Neil Armstrong was going down the particular rail for setting the first foot, he didn't knew that one bad thing occurred, and that was he broke a switch accidentally. So that switch was because you don't have noise in space, sound can't travel in space because it is not having any medium. So he didn't knew that the switch has broken. After 16 hours or 15 hours of their explanation, when they came back to the crew module, Eagle module, they actually saw that the switch was broken and their engine was not starting. So that was a really very very big point that it was not that they were not able to do at that point. Mr. Buzz Aldrin, he was really a good engineer. He saw that what you can do. What is the basic switch? What is the purpose of a switch? Switch is nothing but a circuit completer. It completes your circuit and makes the electricity go from one point to second point, right? So at that point, Mr. Buzz Aldrin took a ballpoint pen, inserted that ballpoint pen in the switchboard so that the switch will get completed and the engine will start. This is the true jugaad which you have to do if you have to survive in each and every condition. There were literally many factors that was based on this. So we need to go in literal very very depth to understand each and every factor. While coming in the atmosphere, when the crew module and the Eagle were getting at one point, it was a very big thing that Mr. Michael Collins was there. He was the third man to walk on the moon. He was there in the particular orbit at that time in the moon. So without him, Mr. Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin wouldn't have been able to come back alive on Earth, because he was the one who set that particular crew module and their mission crew in one alignment. He was the one handling that manually. Okay, you have to assume that okay, these are just one crisscross I am giving you, and now I am telling you to shoot that I am giving you one gun with only this crisscross, and I am telling you to shoot 20 kilometers away, and that to middle of one person's chest here. So it is that impossible task that Mr. Michael Collins did, and it was very very havoc thing. while coming back to the earth you have to leave the crew module and only eagle would have come. So at that time also, because that eagle would have been a space debris, right? Now in space debris it is a very big thing that if it gets destroyed, if it gets destroyed in pieces, it can actually be broken off, and that those debris pieces, if they come back to the crew module, it can hurt the astronauts and it can lead to the death as well. So that was also a problem. So for that NASA already dictated this thing, and they said that you have to leave that particular thing 15 kilometers away and then you can come back. So this was also a particular thing which was led by NASA, and there were so small things which actually could have led to very big disasters, but it was really encaptured by all of our three heroes which came back to the earth. So yeah, that is all from my side, and I hope I have cleared all your topics and doubts. So if you have anything, you can actually tell me, or we can conclude the meeting as well. Yes, so yes.
So yeah, you really did explain all the points really well. One thing that still strikes my mind again and again is that yeah, I really agree to your point that technology advances after getting too many failures to fix those failures in a particular goal. The technology keeps on advancing to the point where we have no problems at all. But according to the explanation, you now tell me that today we have the technology to talk to the moon and fro without any interruptions, but I cannot call my friend at Nala Sopara without having a cross connection. Like, how does that make sense? A technology that has existed for years, both of them, even the communication technology to the moon was researched and well developed for years, and the calling technology that we have today has been researched and developed for more years than the technology of the moon. And yet the problems of this technology cannot be fixed by the best brains, and you are telling me to believe that the technology that led us to the communication to the moon was fixed in a mere span of, let's say, 6 to 7 years, the whole span of the missions. So how can you counter that point?
Well, I think I can counter this with that every imperfection causes perfection, I think. And also, there are these things like, of course, nothing can be perfect, even till the death of time, even till the end of time. Okay, and I think that might be the reason, because otherwise we can't just state what might have happened, because if we were in that particular situation, we might have done something else, or we might not be present in two pieces or one piece, you know. So that might be the thing. Two pieces means one the astronaut suit and one is us. So yeah, okay. So yeah, I think that will be the thing. Now let me conclude this debate. Okay, and of course no one wins, because it is all based on our own opinions, and at the end of the day we have to just move on with whatever happened, but we need to thank this space race which ended and led us to really good things. And of course, so let me tell you that actually we are giving the excellence certificate to one particular person in each team. Okay, so now that is very hard for us. Extremely.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Can I say one point, just a one point that
Sure.
हम जैसे हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि कभी कभी जो हम देखते हैं वो सच नहीं होता. सो ऑब्वियसली दैट एक एग्जांपल, बेस्ट एग्जांपल आपने बहुत एविडेंस दिए, और उसके अपोजिट में आपने बहुत कुछ दिया, लाइक दैट फ्लैग, दैट फ्लटर्स एंड ऑल. तो ये ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि क्या पता वो सच में अर्थ पे ही हो. कभी कभी कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन, जैसे कि अभी यहाँ पे ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, विच वी बिलीव दैट कि इट कुड बी बिकॉज ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन और दिस, बट इट वाज अ ह्यूमन एरर. तो हम लोग कभी कभी जो देखते हैं, क्या पता हम जो बिलीव करते हैं वो भी हो सकता है, और आपने जो बिलीव किया वो भी हो सकता है. सो विच आई वुड लाइक टू से दैट कि बीइंग अगेंस्ट टू अ पॉइंट gives a lot more knowledge than being for to the point. So I learned a lot because of it. I read a lot, and thanks to all of you, because अगेंस्ट जाके मैंने बहुत पढ़ा, और अगर फॉर में रहती शायद इतना एक्सप्लोर नहीं होता, इतना फिजिक्स अप्लाई नहीं कर सकती थी मैं. सो थैंक्स.
Of course, I can understand that particular thing, and it is actually very true, which I can tell you, because you need to have very strong reasons to go against, and I can understand that. But to convince the person who is against is also a very big task for the person who is for that person. Okay, so of course these are some perks which you get this is the point of debate. For example, let me tell you all, this is the point of debate, a healthy debate. not that Republic Bharat one debate which goes on every night. Okay, so we have to go point wise, factual ones, and then we have to present each other, respecting each other's opinion. Of course, we are not here to change each other's perspectives, not to change each other's opinions. Of course, even till yesterday, I was also believing that kuch to gadbad hoga bhai. So, but still, we have to believe that thing. We have to assess that thing on critical thinking and logical thinking, and then we have to go for it. And debate is not to change anyone's opinion. Debate is for to explain our own point, and if we are wrong, we have to accept it, and we have to hear, of course, the person who is front while respecting that person. Okay, so yeah, that is the thing. And okay, so we are over time, of course, and yes, so this particular thing. I will be
ब्रो मुझे एक बात अपनी रख देने दीजिए छोड़े।
जी प्रखर बोलिए।
मैं ये बोलना चाहता था कि अभी जो प्राची जी ने कहा कि जैसा हम देखते हैं शायद वैसा ना हो, या हमारे यहाँ धोखा भी खा सकती हैं, तो इसका मैं थोड़ा एक रीजन देना चाहता हूँ कि ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि उन्होंने इतने बिलियंस रुपए खर्च करके अर्थ पर ये शूट किया हो, जो कि अभी 600 करोड़ में हो जाता है, मूवी शूट हो जाती है 600 करोड़ में। पहले 1969 में उन्होंने मतलब इतने बिलियन डॉलर खर्च कर दिए सिर्फ एक मूवी के लिए, छोटी सी। अरे ऐसा नहीं होता है, उन्होंने इतने बिलियन डॉलर किस लिए खर्च किए? मिशन के लिए खर्च किए पूरे। उन्होंने इतना इक्विपमेंट बनाया है, उसको मतलब इन्वेंशंस किए, कुछ उसकी डिस्कवरीज किए हैं, वहां से वो लाए भी तो हैं, मून के रॉक्स लाए, उसको भी देखा, मतलब यहाँ पर उसको रिसर्च भी की गई तो पाया गया कि हाँ ये मून के रॉक्स, मून ही के रॉक्स हैं।
ओके,
फिर भी अपन ये कहते हैं कि उन्होंने इतने बिलियन डॉलर खर्च करके ये मूवी शूट की है ओनली अर्थ पर, तो ट्रेन एक्सीडेंट की बात तो हो जाती है क्योंकि वो तो सबने देखा है, लाइव देखा है उसको, ये भी लाइव देखा है, लेकिन ये ऐसा थोड़ी है कि हम रॉकेट के बगल में जाके देख सके कि क्या क्या हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता है।
quite possible Prakhar, quite possible. I won't go against this, but one point, last point, उसके बाद एंड करेंगे, ठीक है, पक्का। ओके, तो what the thing is that सोवियत यूनियन ने उस वक्त 1975 में एक बुक लॉन्च की थी। उस बुक में लिखा गया था कि 3 सबसे बड़े एस्पेक्ट्स थे अपोलो मिशंस और एस्ट्रोनॉमी को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए, और उनमें से तीनों जो चीज़ें थी, दैट वाज 1 द लॉन्च ऑफ स्पुटनिक विच वाज द फर्स्ट लॉन्च इन द अर्थ, second was the Mr. Yuri Gagarin going to space, the first man in space, and third was the mission Apollo. Okay, so if अगर मैं बोलूँ कि अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं बीजेपी हूँ, कोई कांग्रेस है, तो क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि दोनों एक ही चीज़ के ऊपर अग्री कर रहे हो? बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें ये हो सकता है, राइट? अगर फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक साइड पे हूँ, सोहम दूसरे साइड पे है, हम दोनों पिछले 10-15 साल से दुश्मन हैं, कभी भी आज तक हाथ नहीं मिलाया, कभी देखा भी नहीं एक की तरफ, वी आर बिचिंग एंड ऑल, that the same thing is going on between USA and Soviet Union at that time. So can your enemy agree to one thing which is good, which is done by you, and he agrees that this has been the greatest mission in all humankind which has led to the socio-economic development of the world? I don't think so, because Soviet Union and USA, Soviet Union की वजह से जब Soviet Union उतरा World War II में, तभी USA भी आया हुआ है Soviet Union को देख के, अरे ये कैसे उतर के मैं भी आ गया हूँ। तो this is the same thing that has happened, and that is the point which I can state. अगर तुम्हारा दुश्मन agree कर रहा है, that is the biggest proof that you need in your whole world. Okay, so you can state that particular PDF, you can read that, and that will be all. So okay guys, and I will be messaging that particular person personally. You will all be getting certificate of participation, and one person among you will be getting certificate of excellence. So I will be giving that particular certificate to you personally, either via your Gmail ID or either via your WhatsApp this number, or either I can also and also I will of course announce it in the community groups by tomorrow. So I hope the debate was really fruitful for you, and it was a great time spent with you all. I hope we should do this quite often, and sure we will be doing this more often, quite well in the next topics and all. So yes, that is all from my side. Thank you very much, and it was great time spent with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can all leave the thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.